If you've ever typed the words, how to pack light for a cruise, or best carry-on luggage for solo travel and did so into a search bar at midnight while staring at a suitcase you just can't seem to close. First of all, hi, welcome, you are among friends. Second of all, you landed exactly where you need to be. Today, I'm diving into something I care about deeply, possibly more than I should, and that is packing light as a solo traveler. And I don't mean, oh, I grabbed a slightly smaller bag this time, look at me go sort of a thing. I mean truly, ruthlessly, joyfully traveling light in a way that hands you back your freedom, in a way that shaves years off your stress and makes every single trip feel like you are in charge and not your luggage. You're not beholden to these pieces that you bring with you. First-time solo cruiser or seasoned independent traveler, it doesn't matter. This one belongs in your toolkit. So grab a cup of coffee and let's get into it. I am the solo cruiser Wade Heath, and if you feel like my reporting and perspective bring you any sort of value, I would encourage you to subscribe to this channel so you never miss a thing. And if you happen to be a solo traveler looking to cruise more often without having to pay that just awful double occupancy rate, look, I completely understand. So I've put together my top 5 tips, exactly what I do prior to booking a cruise nowadays, so that either I am never paying that solo supplement anymore or I'm paying a greatly diminished one. If you'd like to learn more about it, there's a link for you in the description. Let's begin by discussing why packing light matters for solo travelers. Here's the thing about solo travel that really doesn't get said loudly enough, I think, and that is when you travel alone, you are the whole operation. Every bag, every wheel, every questionable zipper you shouldn't have trusted. There's no partner doubling back for the bag you left at security. No one person to guard your luggage while you sprint to the bathroom, and absolutely nobody to help you muscle an overstuffed suitcase into an overhead bin while 47 strangers silently judge every choice you've ever made. When you overpack, you bleed for it. Sometimes literally out of your wallet. Hello, checked baggage fees, I'm looking at you. But also in ways that don't show up necessarily on a receipt. You pay in the slow and grinding exhaustion of hauling a small country's worth of belongings through all those terminals just to get to your cruise. You hemorrhage time standing at baggage carousels, watching the same sad duffel bags circle the belt while everyone else is already in their Uber. You surrender the spontaneity that made you want to travel solo in the first place. Solo travel is supposed to feel like freedom. Dragging 3 bags and a carry-on that rivals a small refrigerator is the opposite of that when you think about it. And heck, I've scrolled through enough cruise forums and solo travel communities at this point to know the pattern. Half the posts go something like, I overpacked again, I regretted it by day 2, someone help me, please stop me. And then there's the other half, the ones who've cracked it, who glide through embarkation with one compact bag like they invented the concept of travel. They're radiating a calm that frankly borders on suspicious because they're just so cool. That's who we are becoming. From there, I'd like to focus on the practical benefits by the numbers, and we'll get concrete about it because packing light isn't just a vibe, really. I think it has real receipts attached to it. Firstly, you torch baggage fees when you start to consolidate. Really think about this. Airlines are out here charging $35 to $75 per checked bag each way. A round trip could run you $150 or more just to transport clothes that you're only going to wear twice. That's a shore excursion when you think about it. That's a really excellent dinner, a specialty dining option on board. That's money that deserves to be spent on your actual trip, not on the airline's feelings about your shoe collection. Secondly, you move like you own the place. Mobility really is the whole game when you're flying solo. Whether you're threading through a packed cruise terminal or sliding into an Uber between stops or sprinting to catch a connection because your first flight had ideas, one manageable bag means you are nimble, untethered, and beholden to no one. You're not hunting for elevators. You're not clogging narrow ship corridors, and you are absolutely not the person holding up embarkation while everyone stares daggers at the back of your head. Third, your bags can't vanish if they never leave your grip. Checked luggage disappears into the airline abyss with alarming regularity. For a solo traveler, there's no partner to loan you a spare outfit while you file a claim. So carry it on, keep it with you, sleep soundly. And fourth, you arrive and go. Walking off a plane and heading straight to your adventure, no detour, no waiting, no carousel hypnosis, is one of life's underrated pleasures. You boarded sharp, right? You land sharp. You are ready at a moment's notice. The trip kicks off the second the wheels hit the tarmac, not 45 minutes and one existential crisis later. Turning the corner, we'll focus now on how to actually do it, packing light in practice. So how do you pull this off without feeling like you're punishing yourself? Because I already know what's bubbling up for some of you. But I need options. But what if there's a formal night? But what about my 17 skincare products? I know, I hear you. Breathe, I've got you. Here's how I actually approach it. Build a wardrobe that works as a team. Every piece you pack should play well with at least two other things in the bag. Neutral colors, fabrics that don't crumble into origami the second you look at them. Pieces that can dress up or down, depending on whether you're at a beach bar or the ship's dining room. For a 10-day cruise to Mexico, you can genuinely operate on 5 or 6 tops, 2 or 3 bottoms, 1 layer, a swimsuit or 2, 1 nicer outfit for dinner, and your walking shoes. That's a complete trip. Cruise ships have laundry services for a reason, people, and that reason is us. I take a lot of polo shirts with me. They're interchangeable, they're casual, but they're dressy enough that I can wear them to dinner if that's what I need to do. I would also say surrender the full-size toiletries. The ship often has got you on this one. Most cruise ships stock shampoo, conditioner, and body wash right in your cabin. Now, some are condensing all of that into one recently, so check the cruise line that you are going to be visiting with in the near future to make sure. But if they do offer the 3, that wipes out a massive chunk of the "but I need my whole bathroom" argument. Decant what you actually need into TSA-approved travel bottles and call it a day. And also, when you pack, make sure you're packing outfits and not individual pieces. Literally, lay everything out before a single item goes into your bag and build complete looks. If something doesn't pair with at least 2 other things you're bringing, it stays home. No exceptions. No, maybe I'll figure it out when I get there. Nope, you won't. So leave it out. And make peace with 2 pairs of shoes. This is the one that tends to break people, so I completely understand if you're frustrated by it, but it's non-negotiable when you're trying to pack light. Shoes are dense, they're bulky, and the #1 culprit behind bags that don't close. Comfortable walking shoes for ports, 1 versatile pair for evenings. That's your whole situation. You will survive, I promise you. On most of my cruises, my walking shoes double as my evening shoes, right? My walking shoes will double as my formal night shoes. In addition to that, I will bring 1 pair of flip-flops with me because typically when I'm on a cruise ship, I'm wearing the flip-flops throughout, right? I won't wear them off the ship unless I'm going to a beach. I'll wear my walking shoes. However, the flip-flops really are my casual attire. And at this point, you might be asking, well, how do you pack exactly, Wade? What specifically do you focus on when you travel solo? Well, I'll share it with you, my personal packing system and the change that I recently made that actually made things a lot better. So here's where I get a little personal with you and where things get interesting. If you've been around this channel for a while, you know my whole identity as a traveler is built on a 2-bag system. For years, and I am talking a long stretch of years, my entire travel setup was a backpack and a computer bag. Everything I needed for any trip, any length, lived in those 2 bags. I had it dialed in. I was smug about it. Let's be real. That was how I did it. So When Luggex reached out and floated the idea of replacing my 2-bag setup with their compact carry-on, my first instinct was like, okay, hard pass. No, I've already got what I do. I don't need to reinvent the wheel here. I'm good, right? I'm good. I don't need that. I don't audition new systems just because someone asks nicely. I've engineered this around what actually works for solo travel, and I don't put things in front of you that I haven't personally stress tested myself. But I was curious enough to say, okay, let me try it. And if I can condense everything into one rather than have two things with me, I'm all about efficiency. Let's try it. And I brought that bag on a recent 10-day cruise to Mexico. The bag itself is called the Luggex Flow 5 Core Front Opening Carry-On. 20 inches, hard polycarbonate shell, tough without being a workout to carry, coming in at around 9 pounds. What separates it from every standard carry-on you've probably ever wrestled with is the front opening design. This is really what sort of piqued my interest. There's a dedicated padded 16-inch laptop compartment that lives entirely separate from your main packing space. Your tech gear has its own zip code, no more excavating through folded shirts to find your charger, no more laptop playing hide and seek under a sweater at airport security, and in my case, no extra bag that I had to pack all this stuff in. It could all go into one final suitcase, and I didn't have to worry about stringing something else alongside my shoulder or over my back. The trip started with a night at a hotel before boarding my cruise, and right out of the gate, I noticed how different it felt to manage just one bag. I checked in, rolled it into the room, popped open the front panel to grab my laptop setup, and everything was exactly where I stashed it. No second bag to account for. No mental inventory of which bag held which power adapter. No, I didn't have to worry about any of that. And 10 days on the ship, clothes, toiletries, accessories, full laptop setup, one bag, zero chaos. The interior is genuinely well thought out, with cross straps, a hidden compartment, and a waterproof pocket. It's sort of the kind of design where you open it up and think, oh, an actual human traveler was involved in the design of this thing, clearly. How nice. And the 360-degree spinner wheels roll in practical silence. And if you've ever clattered a loud bag down a quiet ship corridor at midnight, I think you understand exactly why that detail matters. The dual TSA-approved locks cinch down both the front pocket and the main compartment together, which I really appreciated more than I expected. Size-wise, it slid into the overhead bin without a scene, and on one of the transit days, I needed to hop into an Uber, and the bag rode shotgun. Yep, it hung out with me in the back seat next to me with zero drama. No trunk required, no curb wrestling. It just fit. It was small enough. What kept circling back to me throughout the trip was how much mental bandwidth my old 2-bag system quietly consumed, right? It was something that I thought about a lot more than I ever really considered. It worked fine, but I was always running a low-level background process. Which bag was that? Did I grab both before I left the cabin? Is that over my shoulder the way that I need it to be? Where's my computer bag right now? I mean, there was so much that I was thinking about with that 2-bag system that it didn't occur to me was such a process suck of my mind until I only had the one bag. And there were a couple phantom times where I just sort of assumed I had my carry bag with me, my computer bag, and I kind of freaked out. I had that moment. I think a lot of people have that moment when they're carrying like their passport with them and they have to check every 30 seconds to make sure that the passport didn't disappear somehow from their pocket. So it was kind of the same way at first with this condensing into a one-bag system from two. Kept thinking, did I leave that other bag somewhere? In the back of my mind, I was convinced I did until I remembered, no, I've just got the one now. Collapsing everything into one piece, switched that process off entirely. Man, was that nice once I got used to it. And here's the straight version, no frills. I'm not in the business of telling you what to pack or what to buy. You know your travel style, but if you've been hauling multiple bags around and travel has started to feel more like a logistics operation than an adventure, especially going it solo, it's worth questioning the system, I would think. Packing light is a real skill. It's hard for some people. It was hard for me in the beginning. It's awkward and slightly uncomfortable the first time. You'll convince yourself you've forgotten something important, and you'll be wrong. By the third trip, you'll look back at your old packing habits the way you look at old photos, with affection and mild horror. As for the Luggex bag, I want to be straight with you because that's the only way I operate here. I don't point you toward anything I haven't personally dragged through an airport, rolled down a ship corridor, and lived with for a real trip. This bag earned its mention. The front opening laptop compartment alone would have closed the deal for me. And I partnered with Luggex to snag you a $20 discount. The link lives in the description below if it's something that you're interested in. If you've been mulling over a smarter packing setup, it's definitely worth a look. Again, I did not anticipate ever changing the way that I operated when it came to packing light for my cruises. But this did change the way I operate. A durable shell, expandable capacity when you need a little breathing room, solid warranty, a genuinely well-built bag that doesn't require a second mortgage. It's reasonable and worth a look if you're in the market for one. You know, ultimately, packing light isn't self-denial. It's the move that sort of hands you back your trip when you really start to think about it. It means moving through the world on your terms. And I think a lot of people choose solo traveling in general because that's what they want. They want that freedom. They want it on their terms. They want to live an experience that is uniquely them. Now, if that experience that is uniquely you means you have to bring 6 pieces of luggage with you, and you have to wait an hour at a carousel, and you got to deal with all of that curbside, and you got to deal with all of that checking it in, okay, good luck out there. But if you're really looking to downsize, to simplify, to be a minimalist, and to really become efficient about your solo travel with everything you need and none of the dead weight slowing you down, this is a great way to do it. On that note, has it taken you a while to learn how to pack lighter? Were you somebody that started out with all of the bags and now you're down to just 1 or 2? I'd be very interested in hearing from you how you go about solo travel packing nowadays, and does it flex based on the length of time that you're away? I mentioned it earlier, but when I go on a trip of any length, I've long said, and I hold to this, if I cannot pack it into my backpack and my computer bag, it doesn't go with me, no matter how long. And I will do laundry on the ship if I need to. I will buy new clothes as I go if I need to. But I'm not bringing all the excess with me. I just don't have a place for it. And now with this Luggex bag, I absolutely have a little extra room that I didn't anticipate having, and I can cram a little more in there if I need to on a longer trip. So you tell me, what is your setup like when you solo travel, and how do you go about packing? Do you use any sort of device? Do you use any sort of luggage or any sort of specific type of item to help you along your journey? I think the community at large would love to hear about it. Drop it in the comments. And of course, if you're a solo traveler looking to cruise more often without having to pay that double occupancy rate, I completely understand. That's why I put together my top 5 tips, exactly what I do prior to booking a cruise now. So either I am never paying that double occupancy rate, or I'm paying a greatly diminished one. If you'd like to learn more about it, there's a link for you still in the description. And for the Solo Cruiser, I'm Wade Heath. I'll see you next time.